Goldberg.
This the War Report coming live every Tuesday at 7 with Steve, Cat, Ryan, Amanda, and Eric. And the voice of NEW, Vince Berry. Hitting all the topics like a clothesline flurry. Turn up your speakers and hear them out. You can listen from your car, even on your couch. They too raw, who NXT? Handing out SmackDowns, follow on IG. Plus, it's sponsored by Tag Me a Date. Go to YouTube and sub now for every update. It's all wrestling here. No safe space, now listen in. Time to hear from some of the greats.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the War Report After Dark. Little Stephanie Vaquer action. Congratulations on becoming the new women's heavyweight champion. We got a lot to cover. We got a little WrestlePalooza. We got All In. We got Raw. So a lot to break down in an hour. But welcome everybody to another edition.
What's going on, brother? What's going on? I heard the music.
You heard it?
I heard the music.
Yeah, little
awesome.
Stephanie Vaquer.
Very happy you started with that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I wanna kick off by talking about WrestlePalooza. And listen, there were things that I liked. There were things that I didn't like any show that WWE does. I think for me, WrestlePalooza was overhyped. Here's this brand new show, debut on ESPN to kick off this era of us paying more money to watch pay-per-views on ESPN, which we'll get into that too. And to me, it was a glorified Raw. Triple H had promoted big surprises, this and that. I didn't think there were really any surprises. I thought it was pretty predictable. And listen, I'm one that always says predictability is not necessarily a bad thing. And I don't think that necessarily was a bad thing in this case. But I don't know. I think my expectations were a lot higher than what they delivered based on the weeks of hyping this to be like the next biggest thing we've seen. And I just didn't get that feel. So I wanted to start off by kind of getting your guys' perspective, and if you agree, disagree, or kind of in the middle. So Al, let's go to you.
I mean, look, I feel at best it was a Saturday night main event.
Okay.
No need to call it a WrestlePalooza. And in reality, outside of the Vaquer match with Io, the card was mid.
Well,
there was nothing that I was like, oh my God.
Well, no, not true. Not true. AJ, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch.
My opinion. I thought AJ. Look. AJ, CM Punk, Becky Lynch. I feel the names and the hype of getting her back into the ring again. But if I'm talking about pure wrestling match, I feel that match was the best one overall. But again,
I'm going to explain why in a little bit why I don't necessarily agree with that, especially when we talk about that match in particular. But Eric, what about you? What were your thoughts?
I think you laid out a good synopsis as far as like how you felt about it. That's kind of the way I did. I didn't really come in with high expectations anyway, you know.
Even with all the hype leading into it?
No, because I knew it wasn't. I just had a feeling it was, it was just empty promises.
Well, you were right.
Right. Empty promises. And, we'll continue on the show, but yeah, I was going to jump into something, but.
Well, so, listen, WWE makes the show the same day as All In, which forces All In to start earlier. And of course, they want to kick off WrestlePalooza with one of the biggest matches on the card so that if All In is running over, people are still going to want to change the channel. So they kick off with John Cena, Brock Lesnar. What did surprise me is that it was another match between the two that was 8 minutes and some change of just Brock Lesnar destroying John Cena. Did John Cena get a little more offense than he did last time? Yes, but it was minimal. Brock Lesnar beat the holy piss out of him. So my confusion is you do this again, and that's it? Like, do we see them go again? Like, I feel like John Cena has to challenge Brock one last time to show everyone that he can slay the beast, that he can prevail, which now makes me start to think that maybe that is going to be John Cena's final match, and maybe he is going to go over, and they are going to give him the Sting treatment where he goes out on top, which, you know, I always would have said John Cena is going to lay down. But now I'm starting to think after that match that maybe they are going to redo it again.
Aha.
But then Triple H announces today on social media that at Crown Jewel we're now getting John Cena versus AJ Styles. So now on one hand, I'm excited to see that match because I think it'll be a great match. On the other, so what? Now we're just supposed to forget about how John Cena just got massacred on his farewell tour, and now he's just going to go right into another match with AJ Styles? So I don't know. The whole thing is kind of weird to me.
Well, not really, if you listen to me. Because what did I tell you last week? I said Lesnar's going over, and his final match is finally getting over Brock Lesnar, and he is going to change the narrative of paying it forward and just go out on top. It's exactly what I said. But you don't listen to me. But you don't forget about the story. You just put it on hold, right? Like you said, we get a great match. Another great match. If you could have picked 10 wrestlers, I'm sure you would have said AJ Cena for one of his farewell matches as far as the roster's built right now. So we get a little bit of that. And we're still going to finish with a backstory because Brock Lesnar's not done with John Cena. Remember what Brock Lesnar said in his promo? He said he wanted to retire him early, and he's still wrestling. So there's still more layers to this that I see brewing.
Right, but you know what? Dave Abbey over at YouTube makes a very good point. What does that do for anyone? I mean, now listen, it doesn't hurt Brock in any way. Brock just looked like an absolute destroyer. But what does that do for John Cena?
And he has limited appearances. He's got 5 left.
I know what it does for John Cena. This is what it does. John Cena whoops Brock Lesnar's ass for 15 minutes in the ring.
It's not. That's just not. After what just happened the last 2 times that they met, that's just not believable.
It's fucking wrestling. It doesn't matter if it's believable. It's John Cena's last match. He's going to get over. He's going to repay everything that Lesnar has done to him in the last 20 years or 15, however long Lesnar's been there, in the matter of 15, 20 minutes. I think
you know what the best part of that entire match was?
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, whoa! There's something in the water in Indianapolis. Wow! My name is Paul Heyman. Goat slaying, Cena conquering, Brock Lesnar.
Did you guys hear that? It came through okay?
I didn't hear anything, but I assume.
Al, did you hear it?
Yes.
Okay. So to me, that was. I have waited so long to hear Paul Heyman announce Brock Lesnar again.
Figured as much.
Yeah,
I see something setting up there too. By the way.
Yes, I agree.
Based on where we're at in the calendar year, it would only make sense.
Well, I will say this: as far as I'm thinking Brock now owes Paul a favor.
Correct.
Because Brock's the one that approached Paul and said, we should talk. Yeah. That led to Heyman announcing him for the match. There's going to be a favor, which maybe that's how Seth Rollins goes over Cody at Crown Jewel, because Brock Lesnar repays his debt and ensures that Seth Rollins goes over. Or Brock joins the Vision, which would be crazy.
Has he ever been in a stable? Imagine? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. Just really with Paul Heyman. Or on his own. But I am loving this version of Brock. And I did enjoy I think the other great part of that match is watching all the little kids crying after the match was over. Like, they zoomed on so many kids that were in tears. But that just shows you that it got across what it was trying to do. I'm still not sure why they did it. Or you just have them go one more time in the final match, and that's when Cena goes over. Like, did we need to see John get destroyed again? I guess that's kind of what I'm.
It's not going to happen. He's an actor now. They're gonna give him a superhero ending. You know, when like Superman getting his ass whooped, and then all of a sudden he comes back and dun, 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 you hear the music and he just starts kicking ass. That's gonna be John Cena.
I want to. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say we're gonna get the Jimmy Superfly Snuka version of John Cena at this old age.
I wanted to jump off Dave Abbey's point here.
Survivor Series is the only way it could be believable that Cena beats Lesnar. See, I agree with that. If you do a traditional 6-on-6,
I have a scenario that I just thought of. As far as like the end game for Cena and Brock. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be one-on-one. What I'm saying is Cena says, and I'm talking about after Crown Jewel, right? Because he's got to get the match with AJ and all that. Makes the challenge to Brock. Get yourself a team. I'll get one for me. I'll see you at Survivor Series in War Games. And then Brock is the last one to come out on his team. Then Cena is the last one to come out on his team. And then Cena gets the win on Brock there.
But that's not going to be Cena's last match.
No. And I'm not saying that either.
But then you go back to the question, then who's going to be his final match?
Right. Okay. Fair enough. But
right? And what makes sense? Because now I feel like the only thing that makes sense is Brock Lesnar, especially since you're not doing it now. Now you're having him face AJ Styles. You know? But see, that's where it gets a little confusing. Like, why did they make the decision they made, I guess is my question. And we'll find out as weeks go on. I mean, we didn't see Cena, and we didn't see Brock,
This is also why I tend to agree with you in that I think Cena is going over in his last match, because realistically, nobody can live up to Brock.
Well, let me rephrase it. If the final match is Cena Brock, then yes, I now think Cena's going over. If it's against anyone outside of Brock, or if it's even a younger talent, then I think Cena lays down.
I agree. I think the only way he does go over is if it's Brock Lesnar, as he should.
Right. Like, you know who I would love to see it be? Braun Breaker. Put Braun Breaker over.
I don't even think that's fair at this point. But again, he is fighting fucking, what's his name?
What's not fair?
Them fighting. I feel he's going to whoop his ass. He's too agile, quick. I mean, Brock Lesnar, at least you could lie about the fact that he's older. But,
no, I think John Cena, will get the majority of the time over. And then it'll just be that ridiculous spear out of nowhere that just puts him down. But Cena on his last match is going to have quite a bit of offense. Like, it's not going to be what we just saw with Brock Lesnar. And even if it is Brock Lesnar in his final match, it's not going to be what we just saw. Like, Cena's going to get more offense than he did this time. I do think if it is the final match, there's going to be a stipulation. Like, it's going to have to be, false count anywhere or TLC or cage. Like, it's going to have to be something where Cena can get the upper hand.
A Boston street fight. He is from Boston.
Breaker could tie into War Games. That's true, too.
There you go.
So
yeah, but do you think John Cena's last match is going to be a tag team match?
No.
No way.
His last match has to be a singles match.
Well, his last match is not
Isn't it some event
December.
supposedly that they're naming and it's going to be somewhere in Boston or some shit? Or am I mistaken? I hear like there's a new, or they're bringing something back.
I think his last two appearances are the Garden and then Boston. I think he finishes in Boston. I mean, it makes the most sense.
Like Madison Square Garden or
yeah.
Boston?
Yeah,
I think he said goodbye to Madison Square Garden for the last time, didn't he?
No, they're doing Raw at the Garden for his final appearance at the Garden.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or maybe that's Saturday night's main event. I don't know. They're doing something from the Garden that's televised. That's going to be his final appearance. All right, so moving on, WrestlePalooza, you got the Usos, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed match. I mean, that was a great match. I enjoyed it. I liked LA Knight as the special referee. I don't know where I missed that, by the way. I had no clue up until they announced him coming out as the special referee. I don't know where I missed that, but I had no idea he was the official. But I enjoyed his leniency, how he just let everything go. Jey Uso busting himself open.
When he turned around, when he had the chair, and he just turned around, like, rubbing his head.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't see that. That was awesome.
Yeah, the tease. I love it.
Yeah, it was great. I loved everything about the match. And I wasn't, I mean, it's what I expected. I expected the Vision to go over. We talked about it. It just made the most sense. I did enjoy watching Jimmy and Jay back together again. The entrance was great, where they came out to the old school, and then they switched it up to Jay's music, and they had a Yeet Fest, which just looked amazing. Especially for anyone watching on ESPN for the first time. I mean, it's a hell of a visual, to see, and it was a great match. So I enjoyed that. Match of the night, though, by far, and that was Stephanie Vaquer, Io Sky.
Oh, yeah.
Those two women absolutely crushed it. I was so happy to see Stephanie go over. I loved the respect at the end where they bowed to each other.
That was awesome.
That was great. I loved seeing Stephanie's father in the front row crying. I just loved everything about it. And Stephanie's finish, that corkscrew moonsault, whatever the fuck she did, was spot on, looked great. And I thought it was a great finish. I was happy to see Stephanie. This should be a nice run. And Io, of course, is gold. So it was a great match.
Yeah, the match was great. I think the thing with her dad was cool. Her trying to, involve him in it, even in the Raw thing, was awesome. They just, I don't know if they worked together so many times, but for me, I don't think I've seen them work together in the main roster, right? Like against each other. Was that their first time?
They had one match. No, I think they had two matches. Both got interrupted.
Okay, so
it never went to an actual finish.
I just felt like they really took it to another level, and that I have to say it. First Latina woman to be a world heavyweight champion in WWE, so she made history. That was awesome. Yep. Love to see that. And I just love her overall, like just her aura, like she has a few unique moves that aren't killer moves, but it's like, oh, that's Vaquer's move. I love that. And Io just speaks for herself. I think she's pound for pound the best in the roster next to Rhea Ripley. Not counting, at this level, right? Because I feel, what's her name, with a few injuries has taken a few steps back, or isn't as athletic as these other girls. I'm talking about Flair.
Yeah.
But yeah, these two they did a great job.
And they've had Flair tied up with Alexa Bliss to get her over as a face, which has been working, and they've been doing big things. I mean, eventually Charlotte will go back to singles. We will eventually see Charlotte versus Stephanie Vaquero, which that match should be awesome.
Not getting off topic, but do you think by any chance the reason they did that, put her in a tag team at the beginning, is because of her injury? Maybe slow her in a little bit?
No,
to get her,
I think
going?
that I personally think the decision was made because they couldn't get her over.
Okay.
And she was getting booed out of buildings. And you put her with Bliss, and it changed everything. And look at her now. Now people cheer for her. So I really do think that was the reason behind it. The match I was most looking forward to than anything else, mixed tag, CM Punk, AJ, Seth Rollins, and Becky. Let me tell you why I love this match so much. I love the way the match was put together. You don't see very often the males and the females touching, and there was a lot of that in this match. So I liked the physicality. I liked the anticipation of the hot tag. I mean, the heel work with Becky Lynch keeping and Seth Rollins keeping CM Punk from making that hot tag to AJ Lee for as long as they did, tripping her off the apron, distracting the ref who didn't see the tag, doing all the things to build up to that moment when she finally makes the legal tag and is in the ring. And then it was off to the races. I loved everything. The psychology of that match was great. AJ did not miss a beat. It doesn't look like she ever stopped. She looked great. The look in CM Punk's face watching AJ was everything because it's real. That's his wife. The entrances were great for both. I mean, it was just all around. I thought that match was awesome. I loved everything about it. That table spot where AJ got launched, I thought was great.
Yeah, that was awesome.
The Black Widow coming out, which is how she won all her titles on Becky. Becky making the tap. Just everything about it to me, that match could not have been any better.
It was definitely a good match. My main reason for having the EO match over that is because I could never pound for pound, usually for the most part, put outside of like that TLC match and the second one, which was awesome, put that match over a singles match for the most part. You know what I mean? I feel singles matches are much harder on the athletes that are in the performance to keep up. But yeah, they did a great job. I thought it was an awesome match. Outside of the Uso match with Bronson and Braun, I thought it was the third best match in the whole card.
Yeah, it was great. Dave Abbey makes a valid point. Bayley is Latina. I think Stephanie is the first ever Chilean world heavyweight champion, but Latina, Bayley is Latina, and she's
she's Mexican, right?
I
think she's
so.
Mexican.
I think so.
That's right. I apologize. Sorry, Bayley.
And then we got a really cool special moment, and this was a cool moment. Taker coming out, riding on the Harley, sits next to Stephanie and announces that she is going to be the first person to main event this year's Hall of Fame. And you could tell that Stephanie did not know ahead of time. She was shocked. It was a very cool moment. Stephanie deserves it. She has her place in the Hall of Fame for sure. So that has gotten me already excited. I think that announcement was quite early, but I am very excited for the Hall of Fame this year.
Yeah, this is the earliest they've ever done a Hall of Fame
announcement. Yeah, I thought I was shocked myself. I said, "Isn't this early?"
I love the fact that it was Taker doing it, because I'm like thinking like, man, they come a long way from him abducting
hanging her on a cross.
On the cross.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
Where to, Stephanie?
And then we had the main event. Cody versus Drew was exactly what we expected. Cody won. Drew lost again. Drew may have sustained a legit injury. We haven't really gotten much updates on that yet. We'll find out. There is rumors from people that were there that after the match, off camera's view, the X was thrown up, and he had to be helped out. So we'll have to wait and see what we hear about Drew. So overall, I mean, it was a good show. Again, it just didn't blow me away. What's interesting to me, ESPN graded it a C. I mean, if I'm on ESPN, I'm giving it an A, even if I think it's a C, right? Like,
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I thought that was very confusing too.
I mean, look, WWE ain't going nowhere. They were just being honest,
Well,
just like they would in the game.
It's not about being honest, but this is the first time you're airing a pay-per-view on ESPN. This billion-dollar deal that you did, like, and you want to shit on it already? Like, lie. You know? I don't know. I thought, to me, I thought that was a little strange. So that was WrestlePalooza. And then we had Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw, I thought was a decent Raw. It kicked off with a Cody promo promoting Crown Jewel because him versus Seth Rollins is official for the Crown Jewel title. And then Seth came out and they had a back and forth. I mean, it was a good promo. It's, what you would expect from those two. Nobody touched. It just was, verbal. But I will tell you one of my favorite matches of the night by far was the no DQ six-man tag with Penta and the War Raiders versus the New Day and Grayson Waller. Penta wins the match with a Mexican Destroyer off the top rope.
That was great.
I mean, it just, every week he pulls it out from somewhere else. It's becoming the RKO out of nowhere. Now it's the Destroyer out of anywhere.
And Waller sold it so well.
Oh, so well.
With the head up, it was great.
But there were so many great spots in this match. Penta and the War Raiders worked very well together. The New Day, of course, are great. So that match was fantastic. Stephanie Vaquer comes out, cuts a promo. Her English is getting better, but, promos are going to be tough. Because her English really is not that great. But for what it was, she did a great job. I was surprised that nobody came out. Although Rhea did somewhat kind of challenge her again backstage. So that's obviously coming at some point. We did finally get to see Rhea in action, which is great in the main event with Asuka, and we'll get more into that. But we haven't seen Rhea in action very much outside of NXT Homecoming. So it was good to see. And there's a lot to break down in that one. So and we'll get to that once we get to the main event. Bayley. Okay, so last week we got the return of Bayley. Seems like we were right. We are going to get the three faces of Bayley, the old, the middle, and the new. She did a great job. She backstage with the Bird Lady. And hugging her and asking her to come with her to the ring, and she's like old Bayley and all peppy and huggy and whatever. And then the match with Roxanne is going on, and then Bayley takes one big hit, and it triggered the next phase of Bayley. And then Bayley just went on destruction. She wins the match, and now she's the one that is kind of a bitch, and now all of a sudden shoves the Bird Lady and says, "Don't ever touch me." So she's going through it. She's hearing voices. She's going back and forth from split personalities. I'm loving everything about it.
Yeah, they had to do something with her, right? We've been harping this on the show for a while.
Yeah.
This is cool. The three phases of Bayley, I do like it. I do like the idea. I believe you mentioned it about having Mick Foley come back and maybe like manage her. Or do like a match
or be her shrink.
Yeah, or like, interview her in all three phases. And they have like three different interviews throughout the show and they scatter them out. I think that would be a great idea to do with her.
It would be great. It would be great. But I love what they're doing. And now, of course, you have more turmoil within the Judgment Day. Because Dominic, who is having issues with Rusev, makes a match for J.D. McDonough to get his ass handed to him by Rusev. So JD's not happy about it. Then Rusev went for more after the match, and Dominic refused to go and help, and Finn had to come in. So it is a matter of time before the Judgment Day is going to throw Dominic out of the Judgment Day. That is coming. And then, I guess, Dirty Dom becomes a face? But then I say if he's putting himself with Grande Americano, he can't really be face.
I mean, look, I want him as a face at this point. The thing
Dom?
is, yeah,
Oh, I do
love
too.
him as a face.
I
But
agree.
you know that in between face, you know, he don't got to be a face. And who knows? Like, I mean, as long as, again, it's all about the edge, right? They got to keep his edge. If they
Right.
keep his edge, he'll be all right. If
Listen,
they don't keep
he's
his
got
edge,
to
then
be
it's a
the new
problem.
Latino Heat. You know, be the new age
Yeah,
version of
yeah.
Eddie Guerrero, Uncle
The
Eddie
dirty
Guerrero.
Dominic, our dirty Dom,
Our Dirty Dom.
our dirty Dom, be our dirty Dom. Because
I love
think
it.
about it, Eddie, God rest his soul, used to lie, cheat, and steal as a fucking face.
Oh,
And
it
we
was the
loved it.
best. There
And we
was
loved it.
nothing better than the ref not looking and Eddie grabbing a chair and slapping the mat to make the sound and then tossing the chair and laying down like he just got hit and then winning by DQ. It was just the greatest shit ever. And the crowd ate it up every single time. Every single time. Main event. You had LA Knight, Jey Uso. That was a good match. Jey Uso, people are saying he turned heel again. I don't see it that way. He just doesn't like LA Knight. He's not going to help him. Jimmy wants to go help him against the Vision and run out there and save him. Go for it. But was that really a heel turn? To me, I'm not convinced that they're going to turn Jey. It just doesn't make any fucking sense to me right now that you turn Jey Uso.
I mean, look, I'm on the opposite of you when it comes to that.
I love that.
I know. I don't think that is a bad idea to turn him because of who he is, right? Like, we really didn't start messing with Jey Uso when he became the Yeet Master. We loved him in that storyline of the Bloodline. We even said that he was, after Roman, the most, if not on top of Roman, the most important member in that, because he literally went through every phase with or against Roman. And he was that guy, you know? So, and we loved him when he was still had that edge, because he didn't become a face right away.
Right.
You know, he evolved into that. So you could evolve him the same way you evolved him becoming a face. You could dial him back slowly, becoming a heel. And I don't think that's going to kill his merch. Truth be told, I think it could help him become a heavyweight champion again, because that way it's more believable, because you'll have to cheat to win as an option.
Listen, he
You know,
did pull tights during that match with LA Knight.
You
So,
feel
I mean,
me?
there
So-
were some, like, dirty things he did.
Right. He has some dirty Dom in him too.
Speaking of Dirty Dom, Dave Abbey, can he ever be face after how he treated his father? The only way he could see it happening is if they reconciled, which I agree with that too. He would have to make up with his father before the fans could really love
Dave.
him as a true face.
To answer Dave, even more of a reason to make him a face. There goes another storyline. You could get to him and his father reconciling once again.
That's true.
You know, that's something you could go at. And you could even put the straps on him, tag team champion for a little bit if you want. And then that shit goes away and goes somewhere else. Anything can happen. There's
So-
more stories at that point.
I have another question. A very serious one, actually. Where the fuck is Jacob Fatu?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't.
I mean, is
Red,
there a
right?
milk carton that he's on, missing somewhere? Like, what is happening? Did he piss
Well,
somebody off? Is he
yes,
hurt?
yes. So what happened was he pissed some people off in the back. And right now they have him on timeout, and they literally aren't even giving him TV time. They have written him completely off.
They're pissed at him for what? Did you hear what he did?
I I think I forgot, but he definitely did something. I just forget what it was. He did. Um, I forget what it is, but he definitely did something that got Directive mad at him to the point they rid him off and said, "You know what? Forget about the rocket on your ass. We're gonna show you who's boss."
According to the Wrestling Observer's Dave Meltzer, WWE is reportedly keeping Jacob Fatu away from Roman Reigns for now. The logic being that everyone has to sell for Roman Reigns, so to protect Fatu's aura uniqueness, they want to delay a showdown. Fatu's absence is often speculated to be part of building suspense. They may be saving a big moment from when Fatu and Reigns finally clash. But after he turned on Solo at Money in the Bank, WWE said to be shifting his character to face, which, all right, well, that's old. He's already been face.
Right.
Um,
Just put on Jacob Fatu off TV. Write what I told you and see if it pops up. Why is Jacob Fatu off TV?
I did that. I typed it in ChatGPT, and it's giving me all this shit. I don't know. It's not really saying. There is no single confirmed reason why Jacob Fatu has been mostly off WWE TV recently, but a variety of reports and rumors suggest a combination of creative, storyline, and maybe health injury reasons. So it's not saying anything about them being pissed off, but that doesn't mean it's not. So we'll have to see.
I just read some shit when I was scrolling, so I was like, "Oh, that's interesting," and I kept going. So they didn't pay much attention.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see, but I'm getting a little antsy. I love Jacob Fatu. AEW delivers once again. Everything I've heard from everyone that's actually watched it, as usual, had nothing negative to say really about it. One thing you have to say time and time again when it comes to AEW is their pay-per-views deliver. Creative, they may not be able to tell a great story, although that's been getting a little bit better, but their pay-per-views have always been top-notch, and you get every bang for your buck when it comes to their big pay-per-views.
That reminds me of the way TNA, back in TNA's golden age, their TV wasn't great, but their pay-per-views always delivered. So
yeah,
it reminds me of that.
Yeah. You had Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs versus the Workhorsemen. Joe and Hobbs win. Katsuyori Shibata versus Daniel Garcia. Garcia defeated Shibata. Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and Hologram versus the Frat House. Hologram, O'Reilly, and Strong defeated the Frat House. You had an 8-woman tornado tailgate brawl. Nightingale, Aminata, Shirakawa, and Cameron won that match. Cage and Cope finally teaming again versus FTR, which a lot of people are saying was the match of the night. Beth Phoenix actually showed up, and she took a pile driver.
Oh my God. That reminded me of like ECW when like Beulah took that pile driver.
Yeah.
And also, we should note Adam Copeland's nod to John Cena in this match.
Yes. So if you remember, John Cena when he was wrestling, who the hell was he wrestling? Who did John wrestle before Brock? Why am I brain farting? It just happened. Wasn't it Cody?
He lost the belt.
Oh, yeah, so it might have been Cody. So his match against Cody, he did a bunch of, like, wrestlers that he admires finishers. One of which he did Edge's spear. Edge returned the favor, and on AEW pay-per-view television, he did the "You Can't See Me," and of course the whole crowd did it. It was a very cool moment.
Wonder if he got in trouble for that.
I was thinking the same thing, but I don't know. Tony Khan is kind of cool when it comes to shit like that. I feel like because he's such a wrestling fan.
Also.
He did an AA also, yeah. Oh, right. Ryan said it was Logan Paul before Brock.
That makes sense. Yes.
Between Cody and Brock.
Cage and Cope defeated FTR. You had Eddie Kingston finally returning versus Big Bill. And Kingston defeated Big Bill, which you would expect because Kingston, this is his big return. MJF versus Mark Briscoe, another one that people are raving about. MJF is just MJF, but Briscoe actually beat him. So that was big news. The Demand defeated the Hurt Syndicate. You had Mercedes versus Rio.
Wait, they lost the belt? The Hurt Syndicate lost the belts? Because they were champs, weren't they?
Was that for the belts?
I think so. They've had the tag team titles forever.
I don't know. It doesn't say. We'll have to look more into that. I'm not sure. Okada, Takeshita versus Mascara Dorado. People raved about that match. I mean, everybody said that was an A+ match. Jon Moxley versus Darby Allin. How could that ever be bad?
Good God.
Right? But Moxley defeated Allin. And then the biggest shock of the entire evening, as Dave Abbey even acknowledges, Timeless Tommy Storm loses the women's title, and the person that wins is Statlander.
Yeah, that one.
That don't make a lot of. I don't even watch like that, but that.
Well, Statlander is an original. She's been there from the beginning, so I mean, I'm not surprised. Like, it's not like why now? Like, she's been there a long time. She's been through a lot. But I mean,
a lot. I heard
she's gone through some injuries for sure. And Dave Abbey says, Al, they lost the belts a month ago.
Thank you.
For the Hurt Business Syndicate. It was a 4-way. So, yeah, you had Burrito versus the Young Bucks versus Jet Speed and the Don Callis family. I got to tell you, I love Don Callis. He's such great. A dick. He's such a heel. I love everything about him.
I love hating him.
Yeah, well, that's the idea. I love to hate him. Adam Page versus Kyle Fletcher. Kyle Fletcher's the real deal, ladies and gentlemen. 26 years old. He's already this good. People are comparing him to Randy Orton because of how young Randy was, how crisp he was. Kyle Fletcher has a long career ahead of him.
Yeah, that kid is.
Page did
every
win,
time you look like this could tell you when somebody's good, right? I didn't know who he was, but the few times I put AEW on, when he comes on, I hear what he has to say, or I'm looking at his match, you know, and I don't know him from nowhere, and I was just like, who is this kid? But yeah, he's good, man. That kid is good.
You know what else we got to talk about? The reuniting of Jungle Boy.
Oh, man, dude.
And Luchasaurus.
That was cool.
That was so awesome. I loved the video package that played, where they were like bringing Luchasaurus back to life and killing off this Killswitch character.
That was
like a Frankenstein kind of stuff.
Right. And then the look in Jungle Boy's face.
So
and
excited.
Then the whole so excited, and then the whole crowd started doing the wave and the singing of the song. It was awesome.
I'll tell you this much: I love the fact they're going to keep Jungle Boy with the Edge.
Yeah, it's a much better version of Jungle Boy
because you saw his face, like he had that look, but it was like a malicious,
it was like a demonic look in his face.
Exactly, demonic is the perfect phrase.
Yep. So, I will say, no matter what what a time to be a wrestling fan. That was a Saturday of great, great wrestling all around. If I had to put a grade, I would say that AEW probably beat out WWE. And that's not to say it was a bad show. Again, for me, it was just overhyped. And it didn't deliver in the way I thought. I'm also kind of annoyed that I'm paying now $30 a month for ESPN Plus to bundle with the other shit I got. And I'm still seeing ads after every match for 3-4 minutes at a time.
Oh, you're always going to see ads.
I know, but if I'm paying this kind of money, I shouldn't have to see fucking ads. You know?
Watch these fucking ads.
These fucking ads. We pay enough for these fucking shit. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable how much money we have to spend now to watch wrestling. And then there were people that were all excited about AEW because you can watch on HBO Max. No, bitches, you can watch on HBO Max, but you're paying $40 extra as a premium.
Right. Oh, you got to have HBO Premium to be able to watch AEW?
No. So you have to have HBO Max and you'll have access to AEW pay-per-views. But if you click on the pay-per-view, you have to pay a premium, which is $40 for the show.
Oh, okay. Well, the regular show was $60, wasn't it?
I can't tell you the last time I actually paid for one, so I'm not sure. But I wouldn't be surprised. I would assume... I keep hearing it was anywhere from 50 to 60.
You know what grinds my gear? The fact that Netflix is able to give it for free for everybody else for a subscription monthly, yet we have to pay for it. Because I'll tell you what, shit. Like, I'm a sports fanatic, and I don't feel like paying $30 to watch wrestling, because that's the only thing I really use ESPN for, because I have cable. But I would pay $30 for Netflix if I had to, because it comes with so much more.
I mean, if you think about it, right? You got to have Netflix for Raw. You have to have cable to watch SmackDown. You have to have ESPN Plus to watch pay-per-views. You have to have HBO Max to watch AEW pay-per-views. You have to have... I mean, I can keep going. Like, it's insane the amount of money we spend now.
Yep. All for the price to be a fan.
All the price to be a fan. And forget about going. Somebody broke down pricing for Mania in Vegas. The Section 400s, right? So you're all the way up in the nosebleeds, right? Those tickets are starting at $800 a ticket.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's wild.
You used to be able to get nosebleed seats for less than $100. $800. The section that I normally go to, which is like one level up, 1 or 2 rows from the front, like right over there, those seats now are $1,700 to $1,800 per ticket.
Wow.
For one night, sir. Not for both.
Wow.
That's for night 1. Times 2 if you want to go to 2. I'm telling you, you cannot take a family for 4 to WrestleMania.
So with
There's
taxes,
no way.
you're at
It will charge you. If I was gonna take, let's say both my kids were into wrestling, and I was gonna take and it was the 3 of us for 2 nights, airfare to Vegas, hotel. You're talking close to $10,000.
You might as well take them to Disney World.
Yeah. You'll pay about $3,000 more to go to Disney.
And you'll be there for like 5-6 days.
Right. Isn't that crazy?
It's nuts.
But that goes back to what I was saying last week. TKO is pricing the regular family out of being able to go to the shows. They're pricing us out. It's unbelievable. You have to be rich to be able to go, even to a Monday Night Raw. I mean, they're not going to be as expensive as Mania, but they're still astronomical. At least with AEW, if you go to one of their live shows and you get tickets the day of and they still have tickets left, they give them away. $25, $30. Vince does it all the time. But it's insane. It's just not right. They don't care about the fans anymore.
I mean, everything's become so greedy and everybody's out for theirs. It's sad. You know, it's sad because you know what it is? It's Vince McMahon's fault. He made it a universe. Should have kept that shit in the States and kept it cheap for us. But
He's the
that's
one that
not
made
right.
the sale too.
That
Yeah,
wouldn't be
but you
right
know what
because
though, and I
we
said
wouldn't get
this.
certain,
You know, I
it's a
said this
lot of
last week.
talent.
I said this last week too, and Vince is not the type of guy that you can really speak highly of these days.
Yeah.
But the one thing that you can't take away from that man is that what he cared about the most was wrestling and the fans. And he cared about a family being able to go and get a dose of Americana and enjoy a night out that you could afford to do. I mean, there was no problem taking a family of four to a house show at Madison Square Garden. You know, the whole night, it was affordable. TKO doesn't give a fuck. They're all about the money. And that's the biggest difference. Vince cared about the fans. TKO could give a shit less about the fans. TKO only cares about the bottom line. Meanwhile, all the ads you see now on the ring mat, on the tables, that's all extra revenue. So take your revenue from that and stop gouging us at the ticket gates. And let us enjoy the fucking show.
Couldn't agree more.
You know? It's sad. I remember back in the day, my dad took me and like 5 of my friends for a birthday party to Madison Square Garden. We had 4 rows back from the ring, and he paid less than $300 for everybody, got everyone shirts, food, all in. He was like $300. Now, granted, it was a long fucking time ago, but it was affordable. It's just sad.
Yeah, I used to go to like random little house shows at like either the Garden or Nassau Coliseum for
The Heart Attack Tour.
Like, yeah, for like $50 or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's just it.
I mean,
sucks.
given that was 30 years ago, but still.
I mean, it's cheap.
astronomical.
It's cheaper to go to a baseball game.
Yeah, a lot cheaper.
Yeah, but you know, and I won't pay to sit in the nosebleeds. At that point, I'd rather just watch on my couch. If I'm gonna go, I want seats where I'm not watching the screen. I do that at home.
Yeah.
I want to watch the ring. I want to be able to see what's going on. Dave Abbey, you can't buy a box of wrestling cards for $300 anymore. Well, that's true too. That is true. But and I get it. The price of everything goes up. I get it. But don't make it where a regular, family that's middle class can't afford to take their family to a show. Especially because you got nothing without the fans.
Yeah, you want that demographic.
If it gets to a point where families stop going, you're fucked. But then you got somebody like Green Shirt fucking guy who somehow gets front row seats to every goddamn show. I got to know what he does for a living.
Watch wrestling, apparently.
I heard something. I heard something like I heard he's a big time real estate agent.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how true it is because you never know these days what you read, but that's what I heard.
He definitely has to have time in his life. He's definitely not. He doesn't sell cars. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he definitely does not sell cars. So, all right. Well, and that we are getting close right to the top of the hour. Anything else you guys wanted to talk about or mention before we wrap it up for next week?
When are we getting Roman Reigns back?
When they finish shooting Street Fighter, I guess.
You know, I'm getting to the point
Cody's back. I guess it's his turn.
I don't know.
I'm getting to the point where I miss Roman on top.
Oh, well, I missed Roman on top the minute he dropped, to be honest with you. I wasn't ready for the bloodline to disband.
We didn't need Cody to get the belt back.
No. I've heard rumors that we're probably it's going to be probably another few weeks before we see Roman.
Okay. Makes sense. I'm sure he doesn't have that many lines, and in a few weeks he should be able to get them done.
I mean, it's going to be to make a big save somewhere. Maybe it'll be a Crown Jewel. Maybe it'll be in Perth.
I mean, look, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't mind if, like, let's say there is, one of Cena's last matches is War Games, right? Imagine Cena and Roman on the same team. Oh God, that'd be freaking amazing.
Line up the Avengers: Cena, Roman,
Yeah.
Cody.
It would be Avengers.
Orton.
It would be Captain America: Civil War all over. It would be great.
That would be a great idea, and then you line them up against Division and fucking
and Brock
Lesnar and
Lesnar's your Thanos.
Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
Lesnar
we got to
definitely Thanos.
we got to see what's up with Drew before we can book him in anything. We got to get clarification on if he's actually hurt or not.
Oh,
maybe
Logan Paul.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Logan Paul is your
It
last
would make
villain.
sense.
I'm always down for a little Logan Paul action.
I,
And by the way, one thing we didn't mention too, and I'm sure Eric isn't thrilled, but I was very happy to see Pat McAfee show up at WrestlePalooza. I didn't like the fact that he was only out there for 3 or 4 matches and then he left. I didn't know why he didn't just stay for the whole fucking thing. But I did love him pulling up, walking through the back, getting embraced by Triple H, doing his entrance. The crowd erupted. Obviously, hometown hero. But that was a cool moment too. I enjoyed that.
No, it's fine. I've warmed up to him.
I knew you would eventually.
You know what I always thought it was cool to do with Pat McAfee? Like, like for his entrance, find a way to get up like a mini goalpost in front of the ring with a net behind it, and set up a tee for him to tee off like he's making a field goal every time he comes out. I always thought that would be so fucking great.
That would be fucking cool.
I think it would be awesome to do that.
I love Pat McAfee. He's fucking awesome.
One more thing I wanted to bring up. I was listening to Busted Open, right? And Bully's talking about with Dave about, what are they going to do with Brock? Where does Brock go? And he suggested even if and when Cena gets his win back, right? Brock's still going to destroy everyone left and right, and he sees the end game with a returning Gunther, this time as a babyface, overthrowing the Beast. And I fucking love that idea.
We've been talking about Brock Gunther now for 3 years, so
Yeah.
I am 1,000% on board with that. I hope it does happen. Gunther's going to be back sooner or later, so now that Brock is back, it's just a matter of time. Hopefully we get that. Maybe something sparks at the Royal Rumble. We'll see. But on that note, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Thank you to Dave Abbey. Thank you to Tara, Dave Roscoe for being in the chat as always. You can find us every Tuesday, 9 p.m. right here on YouTube and Facebook. Then, of course, we chop it up. We put shorts and reels all over Instagram, Facebook Live, Instagram Live, TikTok. So there's nowhere you can't find us. Just look for The War Report or tag me a date and you'll find us. I want to thank you all again for checking us out. Make sure you tune in next week, Tuesday and every Tuesday, 9 p.m. And we'll talk to you next week. Thank you, everybody.